Hello and welcome to Thomas Geiger Car. Today with the first presentation of the Mercedes EQE SUV. It took the Swabian manufacturer quite a while to recognize the importance of electric vehicles, and let's forget about the EQC, EQA and EQB that are just converted combustion engine models. But since they have the EVA 2 platform, the first dedicated electric vehicle architecture, they are accelerating quite fast. It's like in a cookie factory. We have the EQS sedan, we have the EQE sedan, we have the EQS SUV, and now at the fourth model, the EQE SUV that has just been launched at the Paris Auto Show. Production in Tuscaloosa is ramping up, and the vehicle will hit the markets in the US in spring and in Germany in summer next year. And if you want to know what to expect from that car that competes with an Audi e-tron or a BMW iX, join me in my first walk around and I'll tell you more about it. You look at it and you see it is Mercedes EQ family, the common face that all the models share, the LED light bar over the whole front, the little stars in the closed plastic grille, all EQ. But it is not just a takeover from EQS and EQS SUV. The car is looking a bit more sporty, a bit more rugged, a bit more stylish. The lines are just crisper, like here on the power domes. They're not soft like as the EQS SUV. They're pretty crisp. And if you come around to the side, you also see more crisp, more sharper lines, like here the shoulder line. It's not soft like with the EQS SUV. It is crisp, it is precise. It gives the car more power. And we have a pretty rugged running board, also an SUV speciality. And if you don't like it, you just order the standard face. It's not only the design that changed, the dimensions have changed as well. The car is pretty much 30 centimeters shorter than the EQS SUV, measuring 4 meters 86. And the wheelbase is also shorter. 303 meters means 18 centimeters less than the EQS SUV and 9 centimeters less than we know it from the EQE sedan. Still enough place? That's what we're going to figure out when we first sit into the vehicle. In the interior we have the same as with the exterior. It's looking like EQ family, but it is a bit further developed. We have a new twist in it. So you have the hyperscreen, 1 meter 40 in width, one of the biggest screens that you can have in a vehicle, at least as an option. And if you order that option, you can play even more than you could before. For the first time ever, the passenger can look videos also in Europe, not only in China and in the US, and can listen to the audio of the video screen without using the headphones, while the driver keeps his eyes on the road. And once the driver tends to be distracted and watches the video as well, the screen will fade out for safety. But it's not only the video content that is new. No, you also can put your individual photos on the passenger screen. Just take it on your iPhone or on your Google phone, upload it to the Mercedes Me app, and 10 seconds later it appears on your car. You can put the holiday pictures, you can put your family, your dog, your yacht, your girlfriend, whatever you like to. A nice twist, making use of the possibilities the electronics give you. When it comes to the technical data of the EQE SUV, the engineers are pretty quiet. Since the final homologation is still pending, they're not disclosing too much. But you don't need to be a magician to figure out what will be underneath the bonnet and underneath the skin. You just have to look for the EQE sedan. So we can expect the 90.6 kilowatt-hour battery out of the sedan that should translate to a range of 550 kilometers, at least for all the models. And if it comes to powertrain, we most probably will start with an EQE 350, rear-wheel drive only, one motor, 250 kilowatts, 292 PS. If you opt for 4x4, which is quite useful in an SUV, then you have to go for the EQE 450 at least. 2 motors, 265 kilowatt, 360 horsepower. Top model for the moment will be the EQE 500, also 2 motors, 330 kilowatts, 449 horsepower. Same as with the powertrains, you have 2 choices with the suspension. Standard is the steel suspension, but if you want to have more comfort or more capabilities off-road, you should opt for the air suspension. That allows you a smoother ride while you're on the highway or the autobahn, and once you're off the tarmac, you can lift the vehicle for 2.5 centimeters and have more ground clearance to overcome more obstacles. And there's another benefit with the air suspension. If you opt for the air suspension, you can also buy the rear wheel steering that tilts the wheels for 10 degrees. That's twice as much as in the sedan and should make this car really nimble, really agile when it comes to cornering. No matter if you're in a forest and maneuvering between trees, if you're on a rocky road maneuvering between big chunks of stone, or if you're just in a small old city having narrow parking lots and stuff like that, this car should handle like an EQC or a GLC instead of a 5-meter SUV. Since the car is built on an electric platform with a flat floor and the battery in beneath, and with no mechanical drive shaft between front and rear axle, you have a lot of space even if the size is pretty compact. So 303 meters of wheelbase means really comfortable sitting in the second row. Only difference to the EQS SUV, there is not enough room for a third row, but for a pretty big trunk. 520 liters as standard, with the cargo incline of the rear bench 580 liters, and if you fold it down, you're above 1600 liters cargo capacity, enough to go on a very long holiday. And if you want to carry even more, you can put the tow hook in the rear and you can tow 2 horses, a small boat, so a very versatile vehicle. I must admit, I've been lying to you, or at least I haven't told you the full truth, because we're not talking about one world premiere only, we're talking about 2. For the first time ever, AMG is stepping into the game with electric SUVs and is building an EQE SUV as well. While the EQS SUV becomes the Maybach treatment and gets even more luxury, the EQE SUV is going to the gym and is coming back as a sports SUV with a pronunciation of S, like sport utility vehicle, with a different design, with a standard AMG grille and with a very new detail. For the first time ever, the second star on the bonnet is replaced by the AMG logo that will come on the other AMG models as well. In this case, it's quite ironic because AMG stands for pistons and crankshaft, something you will not find in the first electric SUV from AMG. As usual, AMG has changed a lot while making this car a sports car. We not only have the different design for the exterior and the interior, we also have a different powertrain. The battery is still 90.6 kilowatt hours with a different software for more performance and more repeatability, but we have totally new motors. Base model of AMG will be the 43 with 350 kilowatts or 476 horsepower. Top model will be the 53 that will deliver 505 kilowatts or 687 horsepower if you buy the Dynamic Plus package. That translates to more than 1,000 Newton meters of torque, a 0 to 60 time of 3.5 seconds, and while the 43 only goes 220 kilometers per hour, the 53 will make 240 kilometers per hour. And even the MBUX system has been totally changed. We have a different design for all the clusters, and we have a very neat feature that only AMG offers. If you go into the menu and look at the performance settings, you have the usual thing that every electric vehicle have, like energy flow or the electric motor. But if you look at this button, you'll get an IWC watch, the cooperation partner of AMG, and for the first time ever you have a digital analog clock that you can even use as a stopwatch. A very cool feature, again making use of the possibilities the electronics of the MBUX offers you. Thanks for joining me on that first walk around with the new Mercedes EQE SUV. It might be the 4th model in the family, but I assume it will be the best-selling one. Number 1 is designated for this vehicle because it is the most versatile and it gives you the most for the money. Yes, it will be 5% more expensive than an EQE sedan and it will start just shortly beneath 80,000 euros, but I think this car gives you the most for the money, and my bet is this one will be the best-selling EQ model for the next years.